Hello and how are you? Today we are going to look at HTML attributes. My name is Mohindo Mubarak and I'm going to be your tutor. So HTML attributes. HTML attributes provide additional information about HTML elements. Right now, if I talk about HTML element, you must be knowing what you're talking about. So if you want to add more information or more rules to a certain HTML element, we use a HTML attribute to define that particular rule or information. All HTML elements can have attributes, and attributes provide additional information about the element. Attributes are always specified in a starting tag or in a start tag of a HTML element. So attributes usually come in a form of a name and a value, a name and a value, a name and a value. As you can see here, this is an example of an attribute. So the attribute will have a name and then the value. So that's how we define attributes in HTML element. Thank you. Let's go into practicals and we see what we've and we practice what we've just talked about. So here we are. So I'll switch back to our text editor. This is it. Okay, so I'm going to create another file called HTML attributes. Okay, so right click here and say new file. Okay, so I say 5 and then put full stop and then put like this, HTML attributes. Okay, HTML attributes. Okay, why am I giving them numbers? Because I want our files to be organized in a way that you can know where we start from and where we are at the moment. So I'll press enter and then we'll have HTML attributes there. So let's see the example of creating a HTML attribute. We'll begin by copying this basic file, okay, and then come and write it here. Oh, you may not even copy it. Actually, even VS Code can help you to write for you the basic structure of HTML. Just write HTML like this and then press HTML5. They'll write for you everything that you may need to know about, the basics or the structure of the whole HTML element, of the whole HTML document. So our task is just write the content here in the code, okay, here in the body. So let's see what is meant by HTML attribute. We say that HTML attribute will define more rules to a certain HTML element. So I'm going to write here like my h1 tag. I say this is Mohindo. Okay that this is Mohindo. Okay, this is nice. Okay, this is nice. Okay, so I save it. Okay, I save it. Then I'm going to open this one in our browser and we see what we mean. So if I come to our browser, where is our browser though? It is here. I'm going to open this file that we just created, this one. Okay, so to do that, I'll just simply say Ctrl-O. You press Ctrl and hold it and then press O, and then you navigate to where I saved the file. For example, ours are saved on desktop HTML, and then this is the folder. So this is the file. So you can see this is nice. Okay, now I want to add more rules. Okay, you want to add more rules. For example, I want to say this should be red. Okay, I want to say this should be red, or the whole thing should be red colored. So to do that, I'm going to add a rule. Okay, so I'm going to add more information. So you see, the more information that we add there can be defined by what? By a tag. By an attribute, and the attribute is always defined in the starting tag or in the opening tag of a certain HTML element. So I'll come here in front, press the space, and then write what we call a style. Don't mind if you don't understand this. When we proceed, we'll explain everything. So I'm going to say style like that. Let me repeat it. Just in small letters, style, and then equal sign, and then double quotes. You open them and close them automatically. VS Code will help you to do that for you. Okay, so after writing style, I'm going to say color. Okay, color, that's how you write color in HTML, COLOR, and then you put the semicolon. So that's an attribute. You see, this is an attribute and this is the what? This is its value. So I can say color should be red and then put a semicolon. Okay, color should be red and put semicolon. Let us switch back to the browser and see how this looks like. That's our browser. refresh. Beautiful. Can you see that it looks green? So if you come back and define and say this is yellow, okay, blue, okay, blue, like that. Save. Remember to save. Come and refresh. Beautiful. It's blue. So what made this to look blue? It's because we defined a rule, or we defined more information to make it look blue. And how did we define it? We define it through the tags, and we use what we call HTML attribute. So anything that will be passing in this first tag of a certain element is what we call an HTML attribute. So I hope you've understood it. We'll learn more about HTML attribute. This is just an introduction, but I hope you've got the concept. So don't just watch this movie as a just watch this tutorial as a movie. Watch as you practice. Let us meet in the next video where we're going to look more about HTMLs. Thank you for watching.